Hi everyone. In this video, I'll ask a few questions which are helpful in an interview. If you've watched my previous tutorial, all the basics are covered in that, and this is just to see how you're getting along with the tutorial. What are the different authentication modes available in SQL Server? Windows authentication and mixed mode. Windows authentication is allowing Active Directory Windows users to have access on the SQL Server, whereas mixed mode allows Windows authentication and SQL Server as well. The disadvantage of mixed mode is if you're using SQL Server authentication, user has to remember all the username and password, whereas if you're using Windows, it's usually your Active Directory Windows user and the same password. What are the different system databases available in SQL Server? MasterDB, ModelDB, MSDB, ResourceDB, and TipDB. One key thing to highlight here is the ResourceDB is not visible when you use SQL Server Management Studio, whereas all the other databases are visible. Say that I have a table called employee and I want to insert records into this table. I want to have a column called employee ID and I want this column to start from 10,001 for the first record, and the second record should have 10,003 and so on. That is increment by 2 for every new record inserted. How do I achieve it? You need to create an identity column and set the seed to 10,001 and the increment to 2. The syntax is column name, data type, identity, which is the keyword, the seed, set it to what you want it to start from, and the increment. Say I want to insert records into this employee table and I want to make sure that there's a column called is active, which is always having a value of 1. How do I achieve it? I just have to create this column and have a default constraint on this, and the syntax for this is again the column name, the data field, set it to not null, default is a keyword, and the value you want to default it to. This is one of the popular interview question, difference between view and a stored procedure. Here you go. Stored procedure accepts parameters, whereas view does not accept parameters. Stored procedure can contain a lot of statements, can contain loops, while, if, etc. Whereas view can only have one single select query. It can query a lot of tables, but it cannot have a lot of logic within it. Stored procedure can also perform modifications on the value of the tables, whereas view cannot actually modify any of the value in any of the table. Another popular interview question, difference between function and stored procedure. Stored procedure does not have to return a value, or it can also return a value, whereas with function it always must return a value. Procedures can have input or output parameters, whereas functions can only have input parameters. Procedures cannot be called within a function, whereas function can be called within a procedure. Stored procedure allows select, insert, update, delete statements, whereas a function only allows select statement within it. Stored procedure cannot be used in a select statement, whereas functions can be used in a select statement. You can just call a function as you're calling a column from a table. With this, we finished the Q&A session. You can now relax. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you like the video. Thank you.